Republican National Committee Chairman Joe Gruters, thank you so much, and welcome to Eye on Politics.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
You bet. So President Trump announces that there's going to be a first ever midterm convention in Dallas on September 9th and 10th. We know it's going to be held at the American Airlines Center. First of all, how excited are you about this? And why Dallas? Why Texas?
Well, listen, Dallas, Texas is one of the president's favorite cities. It's right in the middle of everything. A lot of action going on, a lot of important races going on in Texas. But listen, we are so excited. It's going to be a Trumpapalooza. We're going to highlight all these amazing things that the president's doing, that the president's working on, all these ideas, policies, and people that are helping return America to greatness. And we're going to do it right there in Texas to help our candidates in the midterms moving forward.
Whose idea was this?
This was the president's idea.
And why is it that this is necessary, in your opinion? And what should people expect? I mean, this is not going to be a normal convention where there's a lot of party business that's conducted, right? This is a pep rally, get people excited, that kind of thing.
Well, that's right. So at the last official RNC meeting, my members gave me the authorization to move this forward with no official business because we're not nominating a president. But what I think the bottom line was what we were going to do is highlight all the great policies, people, and ideas that the president's been pushing, and really be able to showcase all these great things that the president's doing to the American people directly. It's never been done before. Yeah, there's a lot of expenses that are involved, but obviously we think it's worth it because this president's the best showman that's ever existed. And why not highlight him, put him front and center, and do the Trumpapalooza? It's going to be exciting. I think it will be great for our candidates. It's going to be right after the primary season, right before the general election. Ballots go out through absentee, and it's going to give us a chance to highlight all these great things that are going on within the party, and to showcase, really contrast what's happening with the Democrats and their obviously drift to the radical left, with all these candidates winning across the country on their side, winning their nominations that are not only communists, but these terrorist sympathizers. And we could really show the American people how important it is to make sure you continue to elect good people, and it should be frightening what you're seeing from the left.
Let's talk about the Texas Senate race. As you know, it's obviously gotten a lot of attention here in Texas, but nationwide as well. And the last five independent polls since Ken Paxton won the runoff show that it's virtually a tie. I was doing the averages, and Paxton's at 46%, Democrat James Tallarico at 45%. Should that be happening in Texas?
Texas is ruby red. We expect Ken Paxton to not only win, but win by a substantial margin. He's won in Texas before statewide. He won his primary by several 100,000 votes. We have full faith and confidence in him and his campaign, and we're helping him. I was with him last week for a couple of days, and we're going to make sure that he's successful. Because when you look at the contrast between him and Tallarico, it's a night and day difference. I don't think Texas is ready for a candidate that's as far left as Tallarico. And so as a result, I think Paxton will win. I think he'll win big.
So why do you think the polls are so close?
Listen, anytime you have a bruising primary like the Republicans did, and listen, these elections are tough and they're grueling and they're bruising. But at the end of the day, people know what's at stake, and they don't want somebody who's going to be a vegan, who thinks God is non-binary, who thinks there's six genders, who wants boys and girls locker rooms and playing girls sports. It's just not Texas. He may be the right candidate. When I say the right candidate, Tallarico may be the right candidate for Austin, but not for the entire state of Texas. We have on our board in my office, we have Paxton with a big star. We think he's going to be successful, not overly worried at the end of the day about that race.
And how important is that race? We keep hearing from Texas officials that if they lose Texas, they lose the country.
Well, listen, you always want to make sure you do whatever you have to do to win. And it's better to say you're down when you're running to help raise you money. But listen, Ken Paxton is going to win the race. Texas is a Republican state. It's not going blue. It's certainly not going blue for Talacrepo. And so at the end, we're going to win. We're moving forward, and we're going to support all of our other candidates down there. Texas has done a great job with redistricting and putting the whole country in a position to be able to hold the majorities for both in both the House and the Senate to make sure we can give the president a full 4 years, because that's what this midterms is all about. Think of the contrast between the president going to bat for the average American, making sure that everybody has a chance at that American dream, versus the left, where they really want to fundamentally change this country. And like I said, the fact that they're being dragged so far to the left by these communists and terrorist sympathizers, they're fundamentally trying to change the country, and it's not good for America. We have to win. We have to do everything we possibly can to make sure that happens.
I was reading you were very pleased yesterday after the Supreme Court struck down limits on coordination between national parties such as yours and candidates. Why is that? And also, what are you going to do now that you're able to coordinate more with the candidates, specifically for Ken Paxton?
Well, listen, it's a great time to be the chairman, to be able to have an opportunity like this. And it's a great win for the First Amendment, freedom of speech, because right now, if people don't know, after in like a normal congressional race, after 66,000, we basically have to put up a wall, and we don't know what's happening within those campaigns, and you're basically flying blind. Now we'll be able to have a direct coordination. We'll be able to collaborate with those candidates in the House and Senate, including Ken Paxton. We'll be able to make sure that they're doing the right thing on the ground with their campaigns. We'll be able to nudge them, and we'll be able to support them. But not only being able to coordinate, the biggest takeaway from this new ruling is the fact that we will be able to spend our money at the candidate rate. We are ready for this. We have the most cash on hand in the history of the party, 3 months running here at the RNC. I think we're sitting on about 127 million. The DNC has minus 4 million. And what that means is we could buy mail at the nonprofit rate. We could buy TV at the lowest possible rate. So that means our 125 million may be worth, let's say, anywhere between 250 and 350 million. The minus 4 the DNC has is still minus 4. That's why and listen, they raised the money. They just spend it. They spend it on all these other things. My focus, since I've got elected the chairman of the party, the president told me we have to win the midterms. We're doing everything humanly possible, because we can't let these radical leftists win the midterms, because it's going to be investigations, it's going to be obstruction, it's going to be impeachment, it's going to be a disaster. They have no policies other than the fact they dislike the president. Trump derangement syndrome's real. America derangement syndrome's real. I think a lot of these guys hate the country. You could tell that by the candidates they're electing. They're bringing in these, like I said, these socialist, leftist radicals that want to fundamentally change the way that you live here in America.
Two more questions. So does this mean that the RNC is going to be spending money on the Paxton race? Plus, you've got 3 very competitive congressional races in South Texas, as you know.
Listen, I'm not going to give you all my secrets, but I will tell you that we're going to win those 3 competitive congressional districts, and Ken Paxton's going to win. Just take that off the board. That race won't be competitive at the end of the day. Ken Paxton is a great candidate. He's a MAGA warrior. He's going to go up there and fight hard to make sure we pass things like the Save America Act and other things. And I know Texans are going to want to support him.
President Trump won most of the border counties in Texas in 2024. Now, Texas Democrats have been saying Latinos have buyer's remorse, and the Democrats believe that they will get a majority of the Latino vote in the midterm elections. What do you say to that? And what is your party doing to prevent that from happening and to keep Latinos in the Republican fold?
I'm confident that we're going to not only keep our margins with the Latino community, I think it will actually go up, because I think anybody that believes in America and who came to America and wants to achieve that American dream, they know it's this president who's been going to bat every single day for the average person and the working man. We are the party of the working class. The Republican Party is, after 5 decades of Democrats and Republican elitists in D.C. selling the working man down the river, This president has done everything he can, passing the no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security, amongst other things, making sure that people can live in a community that's safe. The fact that these Democrats want cashless bail, the fact that they want policies, the open border, like Talacrepo saying that we want to welcome that on the southern border. They're fundamentally trying to change our country. That's the contrast that we're going to put up against the Democrats, these radical leftists that are trying to change the country, and the return to American greatness that this president offers with the availability of going after policies where every single American can go after and achieve the American dream. This president's bringing in the investments. He's doing everything he possibly can to make sure that we're going to be successful as a country. He's putting us in a much stronger place, both on a domestic level and a foreign policy level. And that's the policies and the contrast that we're going to show not only in the convention, but also across these candidate races and everything that we do.
RNC Chairman Joe Gruters, thank you so much.
Thank you.